Hey YouTube, it's Crystal. I kind of want to talk about something yesterday. Kind of reminded me about something that happened 2 months ago that I really had wanted to talk about, and I never did. At least I don't think so. If I did, just tell me I'm dumb. Anyway, so a couple months ago, I went out with some friends, and I had said before that I have a little trouble with alcohol, when to stop, and um, went out and I was having an awesome time at this music diner. And um, uh, so I went out and all my friends were there and we were dancing and just whatever. And I had a couple shots, probably back to back, and didn't wasn't really thinking about it and knocked back a couple more. And probably within 2 hours, I had like 8 shots. Well, the thing is the shots had sugar in them because they were different shots. Like they weren't all the same. And by like the sixth shot, like I really wasn't paying attention. I was just kind of taking whatever like my friends handed me. And it's my fault. Like that's totally my fault. I know that I had my guts rearranged and that I need to be careful. And I wasn't. I wasn't careful at all. And there was a lot of sugar in some of those shots. So I was drunk, not like ridiculously drunk. My blood alcohol level ended up not being as high as I thought it was, but I'd had my first experience with dumping syndrome plus being like drunk. Legally drunk anyway. It was like 0.11. Um, well, what happens, and this is just like fast schooling for whoever doesn't know, is when you have your guts rearranged, everything goes to your bloodstream quicker. It kind of reroutes and doesn't really go through your stomach like it normally would. So the blood alcohol level is concentrated quicker, which means you get drunk faster and it kind of leaves your body faster too, sort of. But the problem that I had is that I had dumping syndrome on top of it. So I had heart palpitations, I was nauseous, um, the world was spinning pretty much, and I just felt awful. I felt like death. And at that point, my thought process was not that great. So my friends took me to the ED because I just pretty much became like unresponsive. And when I say that, I mean my airway was fine. I'm a nurse, so I'm like I need to be careful how I say that, but. I really wasn't responding to questions, so my friends put me in their car and took me to the ED, and I don't remember about 3 hours, which I've never really had that happen before when I've drank, ever. I don't remember getting poked with an IV. I don't remember, like, some people coming down and seeing me. Like, I don't remember. I remember waking up and having an IV, and I'd been given a lot of Zofran to stop puking because I was dry heaving. Like, I puked a little, and then I dry heaved for a long time, apparently. I don't remember that. So, yeah. So, when I woke up, I was still pretty drunk and really just didn't realize how serious the situation was. And later that morning, when I was okay to drive, getting the discharge papers that said alcohol abuse and intoxication, like I tried to kind of laugh it off, but the more I thought about it, it was like, what were you thinking? You know, and the truth is I wasn't thinking. You know, I wasn't thinking, hey, you've had your guts rearranged and this is going to be different. At that time, I was only like 3 months out, and I know it's stupid. You know, you can tell me that I'm not going to be offended. It was totally dumb, and it was no one's fault but my own because I I should have had like one shot and been done with it. And it's a struggle that I have when I go out, and I stayed away from carbonation, but loaded up on shots that have sugar. And it's like that's not any better; it's worse. I can tell you that the the dumping syndrome was awful. Like the whole next day, I pretty much felt like death. Went to work, don't know how. Oh, by the way, it's completely mortifying to be in the ED of the hospital that you work in, because people know that you're there, and it's embarrassing. And that's not really like what I'm worried about. I'm worried about the fact that I could have like been really hurt. I could have done some serious damage, and it's like don't use my tool like that. Don't take advantage of it. And I did. And it upset me because I take this journey very seriously. And I have followed the rules other than the alcohol to the T. I mean, I really have. And um, alcohol is an issue. Like, it's just an issue. And it was just like, wow, I'm really disappointed in myself. So I needed to wake up and realize that it's not okay. So anyone that does drink socially, whatever, and had gastric bypass, just be careful. Know your limits and don't overdo it. Because I was miserable, and it's not so much the embarrassing, it's the fact that it's like, why would you self-sabotage? And I guess at the time I didn't think that's what I was doing, but I totally was. You know, I totally was self-sabotaging. Even if I don't think that I was, I was. And I don't know, it's kind of disappointing in myself because before I decided to have gastric bypass, I was like, are you going to be able to follow the rules? Are you going to be able to not eat sweets and limit your food and count and measure? Are you going to be able to do that? And for the longest time I was like, no, I can't. But then it came to the point where it was like, Crystal, you don't really have another choice. This is what you need to do. And so slowly, with the help of wonderful dietitians and all of the supportive people that were in my classes, it took a good 5 months. It took 5 months to learn how I was going to care for myself after surgery. So it's like, don't ruin your tool. Don't do it. Had a couple sips of beer last night at the concert, and I felt okay, but I also need to not get in that habit. So I just have to suck it up and realize that I can't have beer. I know it's probably stupid. It probably sounds really dumb that like I miss beer, but beer is good. And I can appreciate an awesome ale like anytime. Sometimes hoppy beers, I don't know. They're questionable. But I I made this choice for a reason, and if I want to be successful and continue to go further down this journey and make my goal, I need to buckle down. I just need to buckle down and suck it up. My friends are all drinking beer. Oh well, at least I get to be with them. At least I get to hang out with them. At least I get to see them and whatever. Even at family functions, people are drinking beer or whatever. Like, I don't need it. And that's what I have to tell myself is I don't need it. And I'm going to be fine without it. And it's okay. So yeah, be careful. Anyone that's watching this that's thinking about having surgery or has just had it, please take my stupid experience and learn from it because it was so dumb. It was so dumb. And I got the bill in the mail, which, I have good insurance, so it was just a copay, but it was a wake-up call. It was like, this is the shittiest check that I've ever had to write. Like I should have put in the memo for being a moron because that's what I was that night. And I had really good friends that took me to the hospital. Did I have to go? Probably not. But I wanted to go because at that point, I honestly hadn't had dumping syndrome yet like that. And I didn't know what the hell was going on. I figured it was something to do with my surgery, but I was just worried. I didn't know if I had done something seriously wrong. Plus, I didn't know what my blood alcohol level was. I was worried that it had spiked crazy high because at that point, I wasn't really thinking clearly anyway. So just be careful. That's all I want to say is be careful. Alcohol can be really dangerous, and I didn't listen. Like, that's the only rule that I really just didn't follow, and I need to be careful. So if you have any questions, send me a message. I wanted to put this out here because I wanted people to realize, like, it is dangerous. And you could really just get really sick. So feel free. I know I'm a moron. You can tell me that because it's true. When it came to that, I was really stupid. And I don't want that to happen again. So anyways, I hope everyone has a really good day. And send me any questions that you have, comments, whatever, because this is a video that I think people really need to see. So have a good day. Bye.